Right. So, as part of my journey to assess the current state of new player experiences in all current major MMOs, I decided to make a character in New World and see what the new expansion has to offer at the beginning of this week. Now, even with my limited understanding so far, I can definitely see that the changes they've made since I last played this game, which was just after its original launch 2 years ago, have definitely improved the game. Mounts feel better, and I'm actually legitimately impressed with what they've done given where they started from in terms of leveling experience and lore and the main story quest. Now, I did notice in chat the frustration of certain people that a certain quest that was part of the MSQ, I believe it's Staff of Wizardry, that I assume you get somewhere around level 60, is bugged and doesn't let you progress the campaign any further than that. Now, while you can, of course, level up your character by doing anything else like side quests or even gathering or expeditions, it is somewhat frustrating to not be able to do that. So I actually changed the goal of my experiment short term to see if I can actually get to level 60 on a character that was created late before they actually fix it. Now, I didn't make it to 60 yet, I'm only level 55, but it gets even more hilarious than that because apparently now the Dowsing for Answers quest that is part of the different MSQ that I understand prevents you from accessing the Brimstone Sands area quest line is also bugged. So I've been trying for 3 hours on and off since this morning when I got here to see how this works, and one of two things could be the problem. Either there is a problem with multiple people starting the quest at the same time, which I'll actually test right now by resetting since I see there's no one here since it's 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. here. Or another explanation that I found on Reddit, which would be much sadder, is that the previous patch that did something in terms of not allowing mobs to spawn if you're not within 10 meters of their original spawn point for whatever reason, actually broke this quest since it's supposed to spawn 3 waves of ads that you're supposed to defeat, and the problem is the ads aren't spawning. So again, while bugs like these are not the end of the world, and for a new expansion release or a new game release, it's not the end of the world that there's some little oversight and the quest doesn't work. But the fact that the Staff of Wizardry quest, last time I checked, still doesn't work 10 days after the expansion. And now this quest is broken, and it has been broken for at least 2 days, if not longer. Because it's possible it has been broken all along. And what was happening was that because so few people were reaching level 55, you never had the situation where like 5 people were trying to do it at once. But now everyone that started a new character on the server around the expansion launch or shortly after is just bottlenecked here because they can't get past this quest. And I can easily see that happening if the only way that they tested this was with a solo dev running the campaign quest and not finding any issues, because no issues would appear if he was solo. But let's actually try to reset this now and see what happens. I've tried this multiple times. I've tried resetting the quest and going back multiple times, so have other people. Logging out doesn't fix it. I even managed to somehow convince the 10 people that were waiting there to let me go and reset it while nobody else touches it and let me try to do it solo, and that actually spawned the first 2 waves of ads. But then someone came along that wasn't in the chat when I was asking them to do that and didn't know, handed in the quest, and then the 3rd wave didn't spawn, and that's as far as I've gotten. So right now I have a chance, if no one else shows up, to test my theory that it might work solo. But if that doesn't work, then it's the other thing related to the patch spawn change that they made, and it's just hopeless until they actually fix it. So I'm just going to be doing all the steps of the quest again, because resetting it actually makes you do this part where you have to douse the staff in 3 Azoth pools before you get to the part that's bugged. Again, you can see this weird rendering thing. I think this also has to do with the spawn within 10 meter change that people were talking about on Reddit about this quest. Like, see that stag over there as well, or that hare. They didn't spawn. They were been here all along. They just do the spawn animation when I get close enough for them to render. This wasn't happening up to 2 or 3 days ago, and I didn't change any of my graphic settings at all. Okay, so somebody else has the same idea in chat, saying like, is anyone else doing it? And then saying, don't talk to me. So let's see if this actually works. Never mind, someone just showed up here. Won't work. Yep, So we just confirmed it's not the solo thing. Uh, it is the spawn thing most likely. So whatever they did in the previous patch to change the spawn patterns depending on whether you're closer or not to the original spawn or whatever, I don't care. Broke this quest. The mobs don't spawn, and it is a prerequisite for the main story quest into Brimstone Sands, whereas the other main story quest line is bugs out still, according to chat, at Staff of Wizardry. Okay, so I just checked before uploading, and both of these quests are apparently on the same main story quest line. So you could, in theory, as far as I know, do the other main story quest line that unlocks the new zone, but still, this is a bad feeling for new players. I will do that eventually whenever they fix it, just because I really do want to play around with the endgame systems and see how PvP is like, see what the higher level mutation expeditions are like, see what the higher end of crafting is like, just so I can have a more informed opinion. And I will be putting out longer videos about my experience once I feel I've played enough to have an opinion worth expressing. But currently, the fact that both main story quest lines just end in a bug that doesn't let you continue after 10 days of the expansion being out is just, to be honest, absurd, and it's probably going to cost them a lot of people the same way that the bugs they had at the initial launch frustrated a lot of people into leaving. Like, what is this game at right now? Let's see. So yeah, you can't see it fully, like in the context of things. The peak was last weekend at 77k. Ever since, it's managed to keep around 65k each day. That is a peak, and today is a Saturday and we're peaking out at 65k. But I don't know how many people have actually gotten on their new characters to this situation where I'm in right now, and I don't know how many of them will continue leveling through gathering or doing side quests or expeditions, and how many will just say what I've seen a bunch of people here say, and that's screw this game is trash and stuff like that. And again, it's a shame, because regardless of your opinion on the game now or the game back when it launched, it is improving for whatever that's worth, and things like this just take away from that in the long run. But that's just my 2 cents for today, and I'll see you soon with more videos about New World and other MMORPGs that I'm currently trying out. Peace.